I'm the new kid on the block, and Rex is really the new kid on the block. So why don't you take some time and share some of the information that I know you've been chomping at the bit to let people know some of the latest and greatest things that are happening in the world of you and X39 and the future and all of that, okay?
All right, Jim, that sounds great. Thanks so much.
You
All
got
right,
it.
everybody, it's going to be great to spend a little bit of time with all of you here. As you know, we were looking forward to being in the Philippines in May and making a presentation on new research that we've collected on X39 and activating stem cells in the body and what type of benefits you can expect to receive. So what we're going to be doing this evening is going through a short presentation on some new clinical research, and it's extremely exciting because you're going to learn about some new benefits you're getting with X39 that you weren't even aware of. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into it. By the way, we have 9 clinical studies that we've done on X39, and one of them, as a matter of fact, we've just gotten published just this past week. So we're really excited. We know a lot more about X39 today than when we started this project 10 years ago, and we're going to be sharing that with you now. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And off we go. All right, now we are very privileged to deal with medical doctors and research scientists from around the world. And one of the doctors that we've been working with now, for maybe perhaps 10 years, is Dr. Melinda Connor. She's a research professor. We've also had the privilege with working with her daughter, Dr. Caitlin Connor. By the way, Dr. Caitlin Connor goes to Oxford, and she's in a research program there, and she was one out of 20,000 people that was selected to be part of a research program at Oxford. So she's a very, very bright woman. So we have done both pilot studies as well as double-blind placebo-controlled studies now on X39. We have looked at urine testing, blood testing, bioelectrical tests, and what this all means is that we know for certain what happens when you apply an X39 patch to the body. We know what's happening with your metabolism, with the quality of your sleep, and of course, most importantly, what's going on with activating stem cells. So I'm going to share some information with you this evening that I think you're going to find very, very interesting because it means that not only can we improve your health, but the health of others that are using X39 patch. And also, what does this mean when you're combining X39 with some other patches? What other benefits might you get? So we've looked at in this study, how does the body metabolize amino acids and form hormones and proteins? What kind of effect would this have on a person's memory and their quality of sleep? What about just their overall vitality? We've even looked at blood pressure and found some really remarkable things. And we've done this testing here in California at a place called Saber Sciences. And we work with people in this study between the age of 40 and 81. So we want to look at what happens. Many people, when they reach age 40, they haven't taken good care of themselves. Their health begins to decline. And of course, most people over the age of 60, 70, their health is already compromised. So we want to see what can we do to improve people's health. We also want to look at how quickly we can improve people's health, and then what happens over a longer period of time. So we've completed X39 studies that have gone on as long as 6 months, and we've seen remarkable effects. But in this one here, we just want to see how quickly can we improve someone's health within the first 7 days. So imagine this from a business perspective. If you have a product and you can show that within the first week, people are getting very, very important improvements in their health, wow, you've got a great product there. And you're not going to get this with nutritional supplements and juices. They may be good products, but you're not going to see results that quickly. So this was a 50-person study. That's a big study. It means that we can get statistical significance. Regulatory authorities in the Philippines, in the United States, and other countries, this would be a large study. The average age, by the way, was 63, and that's really great because we know that people that are age 63 and above are going to definitely be in need of our products. This was a placebo-controlled study, so we were able to show whether or not the patch was having a real effect or if it was just a placebo. And of course, we showed that the patch does have a real effect. So I'm going to bottom line this here for you. What we were able to show is that when you apply the X39 patch to the body, it immediately starts to improve your metabolism. Now, some people are going to lose weight. We don't make that claim, though, because weight loss has a lot to do with your diet and your level of exercise. But what a wonderful thing to know that X39 is going to support your metabolism. Now, what people love about X39 is that it is able to activate the stem cells. We activate the stem cells to help support the healing process. And that means what we need to do is repair injuries and repair damaged tissue. Well, we were able to show in this study that X39 is able to improve the metabolism of the amino acids in the body that make up proteins, which are used in repair of damaged tissue. And this all happens very, very quickly. Even starts to work within the first 24 hours. Not only that, we see other benefits. It's remarkable. Within the first week, people are experiencing things like an improvement in their memory and focus. And I've got more on that I want to show you later. But just imagine having a product that even within the first week, people see improvements in their memory. That's incredible. Now, also, we see statistical improvements in the quality of sleep. And this is so important today. People are dealing with so much stress, their quality of sleep is suffering. So it's great to know that while people may be using X39 to support their wound healing, support their recovery by activating stem cells, they're getting a side benefit of having a better night's sleep. We're also seeing overall vitality improving. So X39 is supporting the metabolism, it's helping to activate the stem cells, it's improving your sleep, and people feel an overall sense of improvement in their wellness and improvement in their energy. So amazing that we're seeing all of this in just one product, and here it is, we see this in a clinical study. Now there's more benefits to X39 that we've seen. First, I'll take a sip of water. Blood pressure. Now, this is a claim we don't make for an important reason. We don't want to be classified as a drug or a medical device, so you won't find this on our product pages, but in our clinical research, we actually find out that within only 1 week, we see a reduction in blood pressure. And of course, many people over the age of 40 can start to experience an increase in their blood pressure. So again, this is a wonderful benefit. Now, if we're reducing blood pressure, we're also improving blood flow. And this is one of the things that explains why men report better sexual function. And we see in this test that people have a better memory. This is from improved blood flow. We also hear reports and testimonials. People have poor blood flow in their ankles and their feet. I want to avoid making a statement about any medical conditions here. And they report to us that their blood flow in their feet has improved. Now, we also see other benefits. We have something here called heart rate variability. Well, what is that? Well, without getting into a long explanation, it simply describes the overall health and vitality of the heart. And we see within only 1 week of using X39, the health of the heart improves. So obviously, you know, cardiovascular disease is one of the big killers. So if we have something that is going to support the health of the heart, that in and of itself would be a wonderful product. And yet it's just another benefit of using X39. Now, the last one, improvements in respiration. This is breathing more deeply. We know that respiratory problems are a significant problem today. People that are suffering with asthma, different types of conditions, allergies, people that live in places that are polluted may have a problem with their respiratory system. Another benefit of X39, within only 7 days, people are breathing more deeply. That's also going to mean they're getting more oxygen into their blood, and this is improving overall health. So amazing that we're getting all these things just within one product. So I spent already a pretty fair amount of time on this, so I'm going to get to the rest of the information that we want to present tonight. But just in that study, which is a urine analysis study, we're showing some incredible benefits. Now, I want to move on to the next study that we did here. And this is a big one because X39, like our other patches, is designed to elevate a specific peptide. And it's one that up until we released it, most people had never heard of, and it's called copper peptide, or GHK and GHK-Cu. So in other words, our patch is a light therapy product or a phototherapy product. So when you apply the patch to the body, it stimulates the skin with light, and it causes the body to elevate production of copper peptide. And copper peptide has all of those wonderful benefits that we just talked about and more. How do we know that the patch elevates copper peptide? Well, we did a test where we analyzed people's blood before and after using the patch, and we found out absolutely X39 elevates copper peptide exactly the way that we said. So again, in this clinical study, it was performed by Dr. Caitlin Connor as the lead researcher, along with Dr. Melinda Connor. And we were really privileged on this study to work with Dr. David Yue, who is a pharmacologist and researcher, and he's very well known in San Diego as a published researcher. And he was very, very interested in the project, never heard of this type of concept before, and he was unbelievably excited when we were able to show the proof that X39 was elevating copper peptide. So I'm not going to get into all of the boring details here, but just basically to say that we took people's blood, we're processing it, we were able to isolate that there was copper peptide in the blood. Now, this is a pilot study, but we've since now proceeded with a much, much larger study to prove this out. And it's important to know that the average age of the people in the study is 64. A reason for this is as people age, it starts at about age 25. So if you're over the age of 25, your levels of copper peptide have already begun to decline. And this is a problem because copper peptide is associated with how our body heals. So people over the age of 60 have 60 to 80% less copper peptide in their blood than when they did when they were in their 20s. So we wanted to see, could we take people over the age of 60 and improve their levels of copper peptide? And absolutely, we showed that we could. Not only that, we were able to show that we could improve the levels of copper peptide within the first 24 hours. So we got statistical significance on this, and what that simply means is when you analyze the data proves that the Lifewave X39 patch elevates copper peptide. So absolutely fantastic. And by the way, for those of you that are familiar with statistics, look at those p-values. P equals 0.0098. That's a highly significant result. And we did absolutely fantastic. Now, not only, by the way, did we show that the patch elevates copper peptide, GHK-Cu, but we also showed that it elevates GHK, which is the precursor to copper peptide. And they both have metabolic importance. Okay. Now, I want to move to the last study. I'm going through this quickly. This would normally be about a 2-hour presentation. So we're just going through the results and getting through this quickly in the interest of time. But this one's really exciting because one of the things that people are so concerned about as they age is what's going to happen with my brain. Am I going to lose my memory? Am I going to lose my mental clarity and focus? Will I wake up in a mental fog and have to rely on coffee when I wake up? Am I going to start forgetting things? Is that going to be a normal way of life? And of course, many people just accept this, and there's no reason to. Now we have tools to improve your memory, your focus, the health of your brain, and do it incredibly quickly. So that's one of the things that we were able to show in this clinical study about brain mapping. Now I'm going to show you what this looks like here. This looks something like a electrode helmet that is placed on the head. And it has all of these sensors and electrode, and what this simply means is that we can monitor all of the different parts of the brain. And that's very important because this study is going to show how we can use X39 to improve the way different parts of the brain communicate with one another. And we analyze the different waveforms. And we're going to be analyzing the different frequencies that are associated with different brainwave states. The beta waves, the alpha waves, which are when you're in a relaxed state, theta waves when you start to go into a state of sleep, and delta waves are when you're in a very, very deep state of sleep. So this clinical study is with 12 people. We've since proceeded with the larger study of 50 people. And this is going to be X39, 12 hours a day, every day for 6 weeks. And this is people using it during the day. So this is consistent with how we tell people to use the patches. You use it during the day, and then you remove it at night. And we also wanted to look at people applying it either behind the neck or below the belly button. So all of you that are using X39, you're getting all of these benefits. Also, we wanted to use this on people that are over the age of 50. Because after the age of 50 is when people start to experience a decline in their memory and focus. So no sense on running the study on people that are younger. Now, session 1 is going to be before the person used the patch. Session 2 is after 3 weeks. And session 3 is after 6 weeks of using X39. Now, I want you to notice in this first participant, this is a woman 77 years old. Now, we would expect a 77-year-old man or woman to have no stem cell activity. and not to see any type of changes in their brain function. And yet look at the remarkable difference in brain mapping after 3 weeks and 6 weeks of using X39. This is showing that this woman's brain is going into a state of coherence, and she's going into a state of relaxation. So that's incredibly important. This means that the different regions of the brain are communicating with one another, improving this woman's memory, focus, and overall cognition. So imagine now you have a way where you don't have to worry about a declining memory or declining health of your brain. Now we have a way to dramatically improve the health of your brain and do it in only 3 to 6 weeks. Here's another example. Now this woman's brain, 67 years old. You can see in session 1, very, very agitated. I would suspect by looking at this brain scan, this is someone that has a serious health condition and but may also be addicted to stimulants like caffeine. So this woman is in a highly, highly agitated state. Now we can see after 3 weeks, dramatic improvement. We're not quite there yet, but dramatic improvement. And then after continued use, after 6 weeks, incredible difference between the beginning of the use of X39. So even when someone is all the way at this opposite end of the scale, highly agitated, they can get into a state of being calm and relaxed and improve the health of their brain. Now, again, just in case you're wondering, yes, we had men that also participated in the study. Here's a man, 67 years old. And again, normally you would say someone 67 would have significant decline in their brain function. But here we're showing just within 6 weeks of using X39, dramatic improvement in the health of the brain. And then just one more. Here's a man, 69 years old, and after only 3 weeks.
One, two, three, four.
Jim, if you could mute, please. Thank you. We see after 3 weeks in session 2, dramatic improvement, and that improvement continues into 6 weeks. Every single person in this clinical study showed an improvement. That's remarkable. You know, most products, they're going to work on maybe 60%, 70% of the population. Consistently, Lifewave patches in our studies have shown it works on over 90% of the population. And in this small study, it was 100%. So you can know that just by using X39 and by sharing X39 with others, you're doing them a tremendous service. You're improving their energy, their metabolism, their vitality. You're helping to support the way that they heal. You're elevating probably the most powerful anti-aging nutrient in the body, copper peptide, and you're helping people to support the health of their brain. So, Jim, I'm unbelievably excited. I know this was really quick that we had to go through this. I'm unbelievably excited that we've completed this research now. We've got more research studies coming, but what we've shown is that this product does more than any other product that's on the market today, and just further substantiates how dramatic these effects are with X39.
Well, and you know, you talk about tools. I mean, you use the word. I mean, the nature of what this technology provides to people, it just provides the ability to